Should I join you at the table then?
Sure.
As well.
Yeah. Having live conversations, lively conversations at the studio today. Welcome to From Under the Influence. I'm from Under the Influence. Huh? No. Fucking wait. Get a new microphone. He wants to fucking slide it away from us. Come
Yeah, that
on,
was
are you nuts?
Nice microphone.
Yeah, Mike in the middle. And Mick on the other side.
Bookends.
So welcome to the show. It's another Wednesday here in Vancouver. I'm gonna quit. I used to always say Funcouver, but it's fucking not. And this is just a welcome sad, stupid. I don't know. It's like living with your grandmother here in Vancouver, for fuck's sakes. No, really. What? We ended up down at Kitts Beach Saturday night, 10 o'clock. It's fucking being swarmed by cops on fucking ATVs with the brightest fucking light you've ever seen in your life shining in your eyes, shooing everybody off the fucking beach.
At what time?
10 o'clock, Saturday night,
Well, the beach was closed.
July, Vancouver. 10 o'clock? Are you fucking kidding me?
Closed.
This is just
Go home.
fucking preschool shit going on here. Like, really? I don't know. And the beach was pitch black, right? There's a parking lot. Park the car over there, walk across. There's not a fucking light, right? It's pitch black. And you go, what in the fuck is going on here? Why are there not lights down here for people to come out and enjoy a beach on a fucking summer's eve? Close the beach at 10 o'clock, you fucking Nazi little pricks.
I'd say to team of cops on ATVs down. I tell you.
No, like, really, it was just stunning how stupid that is. You don't see that in Spain. Their fucking kids are having all-night raves and shit down on the beach. It should be all lit up. Yesterday, I ended up in Nanaimo, over on the island. And we were sitting in a park smoking weed. There's a path that goes along, and there's fucking really nice lights. You could see how lovely that would be in the evening, all lit up. And you go, well, yeah, not here in Vancouver. Fucking wicked idiots. Don't want anybody to have any fun. Fuck that. Well, like, how does this happen? Like, really, who's running the show here? Is this because of insurance companies or fucking
People are moving
building
away.
developers or city council? I don't get it. How come nobody wants to have fun?
People have been moving away from Vancouver. It's A, too expensive, and B, you're right, not fun anymore. Like all the things that made it nice, good to live here are all disappearing.
Yeah, I don't see anybody having fun. The only thing that you see is people drunk in a bar having fun, but yet slam.
You had that for years.
Found a guy with 2 more of them
Get the hell
for
out of here.
sale.
What?
Yeah. So I can't ignore shit like that.
Are they red?
No,
No.
but it's a very rare car.
Are they the same year?
They are.
Ooh. What are you looking for,
And,
parts car?
Well, that's kind of. He had originally bought them to make one good car out of the 2 of them. So they're both pretty rough in their own special ways. So I don't know, but I couldn't ignore it. I live my life by the universe has brought this to me. It was in gardens in May or whatever. And as we were driving up to the fucking thing, I was saying that because it was a rare car, that perhaps there was going to be a lot of Jaguar enthusiasts that might not have ever seen one. Right? And then the kid who's directing traffic into the event comes running over to the car and he goes, oh, wow, cool 420. I got 2 of them. Oh, well, maybe not so rare. Turns out it was that guy.
Same guy.
Yeah, so
He was parking the cars. He was directing
he was
traffic.
directing traffic that day. Hell, he's a
Volunteer.
helps at
Yeah,
that
he's
festival.
volunteering, sure.
So, you know, further, I could not ignore that aspect of it, so I went over and had a look. I'm not too sure it's for me.
Thing is, you need a place to store them.
Yeah, and get them here.
And you gotta drag them, yeah.
So,
They'd have to put them on a trailer and take them on the
But-
ferry. Ooh.
you go, wow, like, if anything goes wrong with my car, though. So,
You know
but
where
I
there's
don't know.
parts. Now you know where there's parts, though.
Nothing's going to go wrong with my car. It will be well maintained, and that'll be that. And there's more of them out there too, if one ever wanted to. But you know, just having all the glass and all the chrome, and I did manage to get 2 pieces.
My bike just got new boots and panties yesterday.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
nice.
Oil change and tires. Yeah.
Huh. I don't get it.
13,000 kilometers this
Boots
year.
I get.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's an old joke. The oil
But
change.
yeah, I did manage to get. My car is actually 99% complete, and I was able to get the 2 pieces I needed to make it 100% complete.
Where you missing? Chrome piece.
Well, a couple of interior lamp covers, the interior lights,
Oh.
chrome, and so the fellow was generous enough to actually give me those,
Oh, that's nice.
and thrilled. But holy fuck, it's expensive to go to Nanaimo. What the fuck? $250.
It's like I was
Take a car and
120
2 people on the ferry.
Oh, yeah.
Like $250.
Yeah.
Come on, like really?
Uh-huh.
Maybe I'm old-fashioned, but I feel like I'm getting ripped off.
It's a bike and a rider. Me and my motorcycle, $90 each way.
Wow, that's fucking stunning.
It's ridiculous.
It is absolutely fucking.
It's a
piracy.
motorcycle.
And you're going anyway.
And
You're
I don't
gonna
understand
go.
why they have car and driver. I wonder if I could just get the driverless car to go there and then hide in the trunk. Could you
Oh,
just
yeah.
get that to go through and only get charged just for the car?
Yeah. I think so.
Maybe.
Oh yeah, they'd never catch you.
They
They're
never would know.
catch you.
Just put an envelope on the side of the window with tape, ferry fare in it, right?
This
I'm just sending the car.
the whole ferry, like the whole place is just so. Oh, they reinforce that you can't smoke so much.
Oh, they're
There's
doing
no
it?
smoking. Oh yeah, not. They don't say cannabis. They of course just they ban cigarettes too, and I think they banned cigarettes because they wanted to ban cannabis, so they had to, and it was easiest to. But at any rate, I could not believe how many times they reinforced this. There was fucking signs everywhere. Every time there was any instruction about the boat, right beside it was a no smoking sign. And you go, oh my fucking God here. I've lived out here a long time, never heard of one fire on a ferry caused by smoking, ever.
Never.
Never heard of one fire caused by anything, but
No, they've had
Right?
engine fires. Like anytime there's ever been a fire on the ferry, it's usually mechanical.
yeah.
It's
So-
something to do with the mechanical of the boat, nothing to do with the passenger area.
It's a little insane that they choose a portion of the population to outright ban, right? No matter what anybody else does, pretty much, they're allowed to. And I had to notice, too, that they had a generous pet area, both while you're waiting in line with the car and on board. There was a pet area. And you go, really? Like, I'm a fucking human who smokes. Why won't you give me an area? You can't figure out how to give me an area, but you figured out how to give one to a dog?
So did you manage to smoke a reefer on the ferry?
Oh, yeah. This was a small ferry, actually. Different ferry out of Tawasin to
Oh.
Nanaimo. So it's a smaller
Duke
ferry.
Point.
Duke Point.
You went. That's actually a good way to go.
But small ferry, so there was no privacy to smoke on the deck. So we really didn't on the way over, but on the way back, yeah, we were one of the last cars to be coming into the ferry, so only 2 or 3 going to come in behind us, and so all the ferry people are busy, so we just fucking hotboxed this car, like just pounded this joint, and yeah, a couple people walked by, I didn't notice, but then some did, and then they all did, and the woman that saw it made everyone look. And off they went. And then we just got out of the car and not smoking. Still smoking, but not now.
The last time I was on the ferry, just, I don't know, it wasn't too long ago, I just used my pipe. Well, yeah, you're right. Up on the decks, there's no privacy. It's nice out. Everybody's on the deck, and they've got, I guess, security Nazis walking around. But luckily, if there's young people who look like they might smoke pot, they're shadowing them, and they tend to leave me alone, which is kind of nice. But rather than smoke up there, as I go back down to the car deck and go to the end and on one of the sides, and I find I had no problem. I can just smoke there because the guy walking around there is doing the circuit. So I just wait till he walks in the opposite direction. Well, the wind's going this way. So as soon as he's got your back to you, spark away. Fucking no problem.
Full-grown adult, I know how to be safe with shit. And particularly if you give me the resources to be safe. Because to reinforce it quite so much, like the whole fucking trip, they must know that a lot of people must want to do that.
Oh yeah, for
And
sure.
why not? The government sold the fucking cigarettes to them. Like, what the fuck? It's a totally legal substance. You should be able to have the opportunity to consume on a long voyage. And so what? What's the big fucking deal? You should be able to get a fan to suck the smoke out of there, shoot it up to the side of the fucking smokestack you got on the ferry, and maybe mix it with that. You know, like, do that. Why couldn't you do that? Couldn't you accommodate these people, you pricks? Instead of going, no, fuck off. I hate it. Like, it's just too easy to be like that. If you ban something, you don't have to do anything, right?
Well,
You're off the hook.
But you're right about the fact that there are some high up people at BC Ferries who are really, really anti-pot. And there's been a couple of cases, one of them was very highly publicized, where a medical person was smoking in the smoking area and had an issue with a BC Ferries employee. And the whole thing was caught on video, it went viral. And the guy had his hand up like this, covering his name tag the whole time. He didn't want to be identified.
He's just a ferry employee. It's no different than fucking Denny's. Come on.
But part of the thing, the guy,
Like, why do they fucking own me? Because I'm on their stupid boat.
yeah.
Lording over me and all this fucking bullshit.
Well, because it comes under Transport Canada, like oceans and stuff, and it's like, oh, this is a big safety, you know, it's a different act, and they can do whatever they want. It's like the Railway Act. They're not accountable to anything. They can just make up rules, and they're not really accountable. That's part of the problem.
Stupid boat. That's all it is. A reasonably necessary accommodation, considering it's an island. You gotta have the boats. You should be fucking fair about it and accommodating to all peoples.
You know what I think would be interesting? Is somebody set up, like, there's been a lot of people try to do private ferries, you know, compete with the government. Over the years, there's been a few.
There's been a couple of attempts, yeah.
There's been a few, they've come and gone, you know,
It's good on paper.
yeah. But nobody's,
I
I'm
got
good
this
on that
soaked in
one.
fucking goop.
But what I'd like to see one day is nobody's ever tried to put up a walk-on sailboat crossing.
Yeah, interesting.
That might be interesting. Because you think they'd be able to keep your costs down if you're just sailing across. Now you don't have a fuel bill.
Not too sure what your rate of speed would be, though.
Well, it'd be hard to
overall.
keep to a schedule.
Yeah,
Depending, some days will be a
You could
little.
do it.
Your
You could
schedule might be out of whack.
you could do the first run. The first run would be perfect, but
Yeah.
after that, don't know.
Nope, the winds change. We're having it's a 10-hour tack to get back.
I saw some humpback whales off the fucking bow too.
Oh, that's cool.
It was. I don't think I've ever witnessed the humpbacks out there.
I
Orcas
was going to say
before.
I've never seen humpbacks. I've seen the orcas and the dolphins.
But then,
The
of course,
herd of stampeding dolphins. That's quite common from the ferry. Seen
of course, the ferry scared the whales, so they took off.
they sounded.
Let's get the fuck out of here. There's that. You're not allowed to smoke around here, so they split.
They were smoking. They were smoking, so they left. Uh-oh.
But they're also ferry employees. They don't really give a fuck about what's going on. They used to. When we lived over on the Sunshine Coast, come in from Gibson's all the time. Mark knew everybody that worked on the ferry. And they generally would be getting weed from them, and like they were just so friendly and nice. And very accommodating.
Well, in the old days, it was often some guy like. I always classify my ferry workers into depending on the color of the shirt they wear. So,
Yeah, that's fine.
white shirt guys are a higher rank, and they're the ones more likely to give you shit for stuff.
Not doing
But the
any
brown
work.
shirt guys, they're usually anywhere from like the ones in the khakis. They're usually like cleaners and engine crew, right?
Something.
And the one everyone else with an apron is working in the kitchen area, you know, in the food and serving food.
It's always
So I always found that the guys, well, in the old days, it was the khaki guys, the brown shirt guys. They were the ones who were you're most often to see up on deck smoking a joint as well while you were.
Yeah, a friend of mine got caught one time. She was just stayed in the vehicle down below and then decided to have smoke a joint and just stepped off to the side down there and got caught by a guy. And he said, you're supposed to do that upstairs.
The smoking section.
Yeah. One time I was late getting to the fucking ferry at Gibson's, trying to get, and I was on foot, and so I missed it by like an inch. So I was the only guy there. There was no cars in the parking lot. I had to wait for the next ferry. So I'm sitting there. There's a little picnic table on the lawn. There's fucking nobody around. So I fired up a joint, sat there. Guy eventually comes over and he goes, he said, that smoke is blowing right into my boss's window. And he sent me out to ask you to stop.
And could you please move? Like, yeah.
Yeah. He said, maybe over there by those,
Where it won't go in
by
his-
those bushes. it'd be
Where it
good."
won't go in his window. Yeah, that's
So,
funny.
But before he left, I said, is it okay if I have a cigarette here, though? And he goes, oh, yeah. Ludicrous, right?
Yeah.
So,
Well, they do have that law. What do they call it? And you're too close to an air intake or a window.
whoever got fucking hurt by secondhand anything? Like, really? Like, really? Like, what? Where did the danger ever show itself? Right? And I suppose if you're concerned, you could have fucking scaled it back rather than eliminating it totally. Like, fuck off. I'm tired of it. Being told what I can do and what I can't.
I
and
just
where.
do whatever the fuck I want whenever I want and just don't get caught.
Yeah.
Just
But
look
that's still,
around and
this is what you end up having to do on the face of stupid fucking rules and dumb regulations that don't do anything towards what they say they're supposed to do. That's fucking. And with cannabis in particular, they take total advantage of that, right? What's a public safety issue? Two big fucking labs out here, laboratories, not two big dogs.
Oh, the
Two
ones that
labs got busted, yeah.
Anybody we know?
Well, I did not see a report of the name of any of them.
Well, I just wonder if
Actually,
anybody heard anything yet.
It was just cut and paste articles going from news agency to news
Oh, yeah,
agency. The same fucking
same thing,
words
yeah.
and
Cut and
It's a
paste. I like it. A
public-
cut and paste article says it right. That's exactly it.
no, they all just say exactly the same thing from the same cop.
They're not reporters. They're repeaters.
They didn't talk to anybody but a cop. It's the same fucking thing as it's always been, right? And of course, when it comes to they're making extracts and God knows what else, but because of the potential of making extracts, there's explosions. It's a public safety hazard, so they're totally justified, and that's how they come at it, right? You go,
Providing they were using solvents. If they're not using solvents, then that goes away. If you're using,
and then because it's not sanctified by a doctor, evidently, at very least, maybe there's a doctor out there who said, hey, it's okay to have those two labs.
we need those labs.
You doctors should start making extracts. So yeah, fucking a big deal. Big black market deal. Busting these labs. So it continues exactly the way it always has under prohibition. Right? It doesn't matter
Hey,
that
wild dragon.
nobody else can sell these substances anyway, so it's exactly the same as under prohibition. So you can get pretty big out there in the black market and then forget that you're getting so big, and then the cops come because they noticed you.
You don't want to draw attention.
You know, and a lot of times too, the illicit community is, trying to put on their best face here to maybe try to be absorbed into the new industry, but they don't. Right? There's no attempt, right?
The new industry that puts up fake walls.
Well, yeah, yeah. Look what they got. They got a bunch of crooks in the new legal industry doing whatever the fuck they want. And they're greedy fucking motherfuckers. You got like 1 billion square feet to grow, and then you gotta make fucking fake rooms to fucking increase the money you're making? Come on. Like, holy fuck, people are greedy. And can't wait to be. Right? They were waiting on permits for those rooms. They weren't coming fast enough for the money.
And if people
How
think,
much money? Holy fuck.
well, and if people think there's a shortage of legal marijuana now in the stores, well, what do you think's going to happen when a whole bunch of all that crop starts getting diverted when they bring out these legal edibles that they're talking about?
Yeah.
Because they're going to have to divert a bunch of the crop into that.
Well, then they'll have neither. Right? No weed, no edibles.
No edibles, no weed. Shit.
Nobody wants their weed or their edibles.
10 milligram limit on edibles. That's ridiculous.
Well, it's ludicrous.
I would have to eat 40 gummies.
Yeah. Like they refuse to look at it.
I'm going to get high and diabetes.
There's another reason why they put the limit at fucking 10 milligrams. There's a reason for that. It has nothing to do with public safety.
Failure?
Money.
Planned failure.
It's all about money. All of it.
It's all about money.
Every decision that's been made around cannabis.
It's made.
It's
It's
about
a
money.
It's a financial one, absolutely.
Maybe that's the same in the black market. Yeah, it absolutely is. It's
Sure
the way
it
it's
is.
always been, right? Like, I don't know. I tire of it. I read this thing yesterday. I don't know. The headline said, should recreational and medical marijuana be kept separate? And I thought, well, there is no such thing as recreational and medical marijuana. It was just marijuana. It's,
Pop quiz, what kind of marijuana is that? Medical or recreational?
it comes down to your intention of use if you want to put a label on it. It's just marijuana otherwise. Right? It's the same marijuana, but this headline suggested and was written in such a way that would suggest that medical marijuana and recreational marijuana differ in a way, and separating them is necessary. But, right? Of course, written by some pinhead that doesn't know anything about cannabis. Cut and paste from the internet and what he's heard. That's it, that's all. Right?
That's it,
But-
that's all.
When you take a look at it all, it's not the same story whatsoever. But it's just assumption of what's going on here. There's no difference between medical and recreational and cannabis at all. It's the same fucking weed. It always has been.
Yep.
Nothing has changed. There is no such thing,
It's grown the same way exactly.
right?
Not any change.
The medical community, when they came along, the medical use community, let's say. See, if you switch the headline to "Should recreational use and medical use be kept separate?" it seems kind of silly now. But in reality, that's what it is, not the marijuana itself. It's now down to your intention of use and your doctor's permission, different than me.
What would,
Right.
You know what the difference between what I would think the headline should be saying is, should medical marijuana users get insurance coverage as opposed to recreational marijuana users who of course wouldn't,
No,
like health insurance.
it shouldn't be necessary because marijuana should be that cheap that you don't care. Honest to God.
That's the real answer.
Like, the world revolves too hard around fucking money
Yep.
because everybody I know seems to be okay with marijuana prices the way they are.
Which is
And
all,
with no fucking dive towards the reality of how much it should be. Why in the fuck am I paying any more for cannabis than I am for any other fucking crop that you grow in a greenhouse? What's the difference? Why is it so much more?
it's because as soon as they label something a commodity, they fuck it up.
Cucumbers are a commodity.
I was gonna say, look what they've done to the food chain.
Well,
And you see how fucked up that is.
look how cheap
Because
the
they've
shit
made,
is.
look at lettuce or cauliflower. It's ridiculous what they want for a head of cauliflower. Stores at some point for a while back, wouldn't even stock it because it was too expensive.
Yeah, but a big cauliflower is $6, isn't it?
No, they were
Right.
they were getting they were
This much marijuana.
they were ridiculously
But-
priced for cauliflower. They were to the or
It's just
bacon.
a
It was
plant.
so expensive for a while that stores stopped stocking it because they said people were only going to steal it. It was that much money.
See, if you don't look at the cannabis, you don't see that it's not a commodity. It's just a plant,
That's
right? And then one might question as to why in the fuck is it so expensive then? What's going on here? It should be dirt cheap, like any other fucking thing that you grow in a greenhouse. Why would it not be? It doesn't matter that the yield that you get compared to tomatoes, say, but why would this plant and should this plant be worth any fucking more? Just because you only get like 100 kilos from your greenhouse and they get, what, like really? Well, how much did it cost you to grow these fucking things? Other than potentially the huge amount of electricity you need to burn the lights in your greenhouse, because they aren't doing that in the tomato greenhouse. But that's the only difference. This is really cheap. People have not been prepared to admit this because there was money involved. Particularly growers don't ever want to admit. The only reason I gave them fucking $200 an ounce is so they don't have to leave their house. Right? It was okay with me that they didn't have a job and they couldn't fucking get one and they were going to grow weed, and they charged me that much. You go, okay, that's fair. Right? And that's how it was. So you accept the sacrifice the individual provided, and still do. But at any rate, that should not be transferring into a legal, open, unrestricted market where that is not the case.
But it's not unrestricted.
Well,
That's where the rub
yeah.
comes.
Yeah, my fumble there, certainly not restricted.
And so I hear, oh, but the restrictions will come down. Highly unlikely, because the restrictions are what keeps the price high. I think hopefully what'll come, the people who actually want good pot will just start growing their 4 legal plants. And that'll be that.
Well, that ain't
And-
enough. There's
No, it's not
reason.
enough, but there's a regulation that should be changed, is that how many plants you should be allowed to grow. Just grow as many as you want to grow.
Well, it's because they want to artificially keep the price of cannabis high
Of course.
as they can for their profits. So that would mean that if I was able to grow as many plants as I wanted, it could be, they somehow think, diverted into that market. And they go, well, how the fuck could that happen? I can't sell it to the liquor board, right? When I'm legally able to give it to my friends.
Well,
So what the fuck is the deal here that I can't grow as many plants as I fucking want and do the fuck whatever I want with it? What's the difference here?
I
don't
want
get
to
it.
see buds this year in fall fairs.
Yeah, not gonna happen. Not
should.
unless it's a
It should.
X-rated fall fair, and
Yeah.
even then,
You need the special ribbon to get in the back. Judge the bud judging competition.
no, the stigma is exactly remains exactly as it always has been. Everybody and their brother gets a chance to decide whether or not I should have marijuana. Well, fuck you. And all the stuff that you want. Really? Why would you do that? It's a substance that doesn't hurt anybody. Oh yeah, you didn't look at it to know that. So why the fuck don't you shut up? If you haven't looked at the plant to know what it does, then shut the fuck up. I would rather have somebody out there looking at stuff that they're going to regulate in my world who are looking at those things. Instead of what they fucking want to make up.
Yeah.
Right?
Quite a lot of the liberals' policies regarding pot, when they were slinging them before legalization, if we remember, they kept slinging the same fucking words over and over. Safety,
Yeah.
children, fucking
They had it
bullshit.
all worked out. They
But
had it figured out
they
then.
made up the safety issue. There were a safety issue, none existed. They
Their
just
whole-
decided to use the word. Oh, well, safety's a good word. That gets a lot of attention. When
Nobody
you say
even-
safety, everybody goes, "Oh, what? Oh, it's safety in the workplace.
Nobody asked
Safety
them
around
what they
children."
meant. Nobody even asked them what they meant by that.
No.
You go, what?
Well-
You're going to legalize a substance here and it's a public safety issue? What the fuck are you talking about? What is it?
Well,
Could you tell us what it is?
they just
But
came
they
out.
don't.
They came out and told us that it's dangerous to children.
News never even asked how. How is it dangerous? What proof do you have that it's dangerous? They all just went along with it. Right? Everybody
could
just
impede
goes along
could
with it.
impede memory development.
We can't take advantage of cannabis if we don't have that lie alone. That's all they got. It's a public safety issue. Like, that's fucked up.
Public safety bullshit.
So,
know,
come on.
Cover it up, lock it up, don't let anyone see. Yeah. Anything they don't like, that's how they treat now. Tobacco, cannabis.
No, well, they think it's all right to just ban things.
But I noticed they don't.
Fuck you.
They don't cover up the windows in the liquor store. You notice that?
Oh, no.
I noticed the
it's
liquor
wide
stores,
open.
kids can look right on in and see everything clear as day. I noticed they don't have opaque windows or smoked glass where you can only see out, can't see in. Oh no.
They don't give a fuck about kids.
Same
Only
with,
when it comes to cannabis.
same with lottery tickets.
That's it.
We got problem gambling. The government admits, oh, there's problem gambling in British Columbia. So far, they even have a ministry or whatever. They've got a little group to deal with that shit. That's how much that they fear. Oh, we have to set up a fucking force. We got to have a gambling issue here because we've allowed casinos. So now we have to monitor gamblers, and we do have problems in society. Yet, 7-Eleven that's selling penny candies for a nickel. Kids are coming canting them out on the counter right over top of a piece of glass with all them lottery tickets right there.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the lucky shamrocks on them.
It's only the things they don't like.
Nah, it's ludicrous nonsense.
Bullshit.
I'm
It's
not
nothing
too
to do with
sure.
safety
Don't know what's happened. Something's gone kablooey.
or controlling society as fuck all. They don't give a fuck whether you're safe or not.
Oh, heavens no. They're just trying to get out of the way of getting hit themselves or having to pay for anything.
Or make more money.
Right?
Yeah.
Or appear. See, when it comes to tobacco in our world, these idiot health ministers come along and they do stuff, and it's usually to more restrict smoking tobacco. That's what traditionally it has been.
Raise the taxes on
Year after
cigarettes.
year after year after year, because no one objects. Smokers,
Except smokers.
You can't. Well, smokers. They go, right?
You're just gonna buy another deck.
You're costing us so much because of health care. Give me another beer. Right?
Yeah.
So
I'm going to McDonald's.
everybody's costing everybody a lot in health care because they care about going to doctors. I don't go to doctors. I don't trust them any more than any other fucking profession. I don't go to plumbers either.
You know something? In
Right.
the last 20 years, I've gone to doctors almost exclusively to fill out a form. Not because I needed medical treatment. I needed them to fill out a form.
Yeah.
For the driver's license, for my weed, for something. It was always here. I need you to fill. I go to a doctor. I'm making a hello. I'd like to make an appointment. Yeah, what is it? I need some forms filled out.
Yeah.
And then they charge you for that.
Forms examined.
That
Oh,
was
yeah.
it.
As long as
It
you
was.
get paid.
I think I've seen a doctor for health reasons like 3 times probably in 20 years. Everything else was to fill out paperwork.
Cannabis users are fairly healthy. Cannabis keeps you healthy.
Well, one time I got a burn. I got a 3rd-degree burn on my foot, so it was like I had to go see a doctor for that. I was perfectly healthy otherwise.
Yeah.
I was like, doctor said, how's your health? I said, good. I need to keep smoking weed. He goes, here you go. You need more weed? He goes, yeah, I do. He says, okay, we'll up your limit. Just kept upping that limit every time he signed the paper. He said, well, you're looking great. I said, keep up. He'd say, keep up what you're doing. I said, I'm smoking lots of weed. He goes, well, there you go.
Yeah.
I'm trying to eat well, get exercise, all the common sense things they tell you to do. And it's like, and smoking lots of weed. And the doctor kept going, well, keep up the good work.
Yeah, they don't know what to do with this, right?
My doctor was cool.
And I don't care. Doctors, if they want to get into it and look into it, let them go ahead. More power to them. But they don't, because it's a plant. It's not their fucking world here. It's like asking some other tradesman to come in and fucking look after cannabis. They don't know anything about it, so why would you ludicrously decide to make them involved? Right? It's actually, I don't know, directly related to the path of government subsidy for it, and potentially the right to have it comes into issue then, right? Somehow. None of those rights came my way. Because I don't have a fucking doctor. I don't go to a doctor. So like kind of like you're penalized for,
There weren't rights. They were just permissions.
Well,
There's certain people are always, It's,
No, I think
these medical users. Oh, it's my right. I got my my medicine. It's no. We don't have rights. We have permissions.
well, yeah.
That's
true,
all
I
we've
mean,
got. We've got
can be
temporary
revoked
permissions.
anytime.
At any time, the government can say that's it, goodbye. And which they did with the medical. They
But
said
really,
no,
what-
they got rid of it.
It becomes an issue then of your intention of use becomes regulated in a different way. Your intention of use of the same substance becomes regulated in a different manner.
The only reason the government
Right.
legalized marijuana is because they could foresee we kept taking, and the medical community was taking it to court on a regular basis, and we were winning. And it was just a matter of time, the courts were getting sick of it, that the government wasn't acting on the issue. So the courts would have just probably legalized it through a court case at some point, and then there would have been no regulations, and the government was like, we better step in and try to control it. So they got together with their buddies.
They did the math.
And they did the math, and they got all the guys in the right room, and they said, oh, here's how we're gonna do it. You guys will set up companies, and we're gonna give you licenses. And we're gonna control it, and this is how we're gonna take back marijuana. We're gonna take back and control the rules.
Somebody should ask them
No.
now, well, were you surprised in any way how the cannabis industry has gone? Were you surprised? Or did they have it all figured out? That this is and that's why,
They'll
and it
never
also
admit to
benefited
that.
that Liberal Party in their vote gathering, right? It's a win-win, right? They got voted in. They got their fucking buddies rich.
It'd be funny if
Like
it
they
got them
said they
voted
would.
out.
Huh?
It would be funny if it also got them voted out.
Doubt that
I,
it
oh, I,
will.
no, that's highly doubtful. I know,
Right?
but it would just be funny if it did.
Nobody's motivated now to do that.
No,
Right.
No,
And
that's
nor
a-
should they. What we
No.
should be fighting for, as I tend to say from time to time, is a better fucking system. That idiots like these people are somehow held accountable for the shit that they do. And that they start be working on our side for a while. Right? Instead of fucking lying to us, mismanaging the money that they are fucking raping us for.
oh,
Right? At every
their
corner.
day of reckoning is coming financially. Trust me.
So
That's
here, look,
coming.
in the new marijuana industry, all of these fucking multi-billion-dollar companies are all filing fucking losses. They're losing money, right? And you go, okay, well, interestingly enough, they won't be paying any tax because they lost money, right? So the whole point of trying to get rid of the black market in cannabis was because of those guys who weren't paying their taxes. You go, wow, like a pittance, an absolute pittance compared to what these guys are not going to have to pay.
World multinational corporations.
Canopy Growth records or whatever their loss they recorded, and you go, okay,
Fucking
well,
$10 million or something ridiculous.
how did your fucking company become, in the same amount of time you were losing $10 million, how did it become worth by more than $10 billion? That was the worth of your company all of a sudden. 10, 15
It's
billion
stock-
dollars
it's
in the
stock
same
market
time.
math.
You go, wow, like what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. Oh no, it's as crooked as the day is long and rigged.
Yeah, it's a kind of an ugly thing to see from this point of view, quite frankly. It's way more fun in the black market. A lot safer.
This is why
Fairly cordial.
I mean, I've gotten to the point. I only just kind of do my own thing and support the people I know and trust. I
you have
have
no
nothing
idea.
to do with this legal shit show.
Oh yeah,
I
it's
just
madness.
watched. I'm just watching the whole thing unfold, but it's about to. I'm just waiting. We called it. I called it, and a lot of people like I'm sure Greg too, but all are on record. Oh, wait till this is just gonna blow up in their faces, and I got a feeling that's gonna come. I think, and I also called the fact that before this is over, there's gonna be there'll be people who make a lot of money, But there's going to be a lot of people who are going to lose a lot of money.
Oh yeah, all the little guys. Money will be taken away from them because that's how the stock market works.
But the black market will never go away as long as these guys want to charge those kinds of prices.
The reality of cannabis has got to take over here at some point. If in fact, if I believe and anybody who actually knows anything about cannabis believes that it doesn't hurt anyone, isn't that the fucking point of view here? Like, why should I have to say anything else? Like, really? And it needs no fucking rules here. None. Grow up. It's a substance that doesn't hurt anyone. No child, no senior, nobody in the whole fucking history of it. So, why don't we continue from that thought? The rest of it doesn't fucking matter. I don't care. Yes, we can compare cannabis to every other substance that actually fucking hurts you. But who cares? I don't give a fuck. It doesn't hurt anyone. Shut up, leave it alone, and fuck off. Leave it to us. You know, it would have cost the government a whole lot less money if they'd come forward and invited anybody who was in growing cannabis all these years and not paying their taxes, that they would forgive them that. If you come forward and you can come into the industry, we'll start fresh. That's pretty good. Could have tried that. Wouldn't have cost you as much as it's costing you now already. Look at all the provinces recording losses of fucking money on their little program to sell it. And the taxpayers paying that. Huh. What?
But the government is too worried about their image. And there's too many people like right away would criticize them for doing that. And this is they are so concerned with their image rather than doing the right thing.
They should have just never done anything. They should have looked at the substance like honest people should do. You'd think.
Honest? You said honest.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck? These are the people that have been elected to manage our affairs, and we're allowing them to be dishonest in our faces.
Yeah.
And no one's questioning it. Right? That's fucked. And I don't care what industry it is or ever could be. That's fucked that these people are acting that way. And they are really showing, in my estimation, their true colors in that that's the way they operate with everything. Just like this, because cannabis has been looked at under a microscope here during legalization, right? They're telling you fucking everything they can find, every movement, every little town that's thinking about having cannabis in there, right? Yeah, it's just this huge fucking thing.
They missed one.
Yeah.
They did miss one.
So you can see how mismanaged the government is, how dishonest they are in this issue alone. It's the same with lumber and mining,
fisheries,
and fishing, and everything. That's exactly the way it goes. And it's people working behind closed doors who make all the fucking money. End of story. Right? And that's how our governments have become. They're not really governing us. They're ripping us off. And funneling money where they want it to go. Where does all the money go? Nobody even asks. Where's all the money go? You know, what? Oh, it's the government. They tax us. Fuck you. Why do you live like that? Why do you care? Why do you say it's okay with you to have them do this? Because what? You might get a piece of the action yourself one day? Not. They're working as hard as they can to not let you play. They want all the money.
And they never really liked us to begin with.
Oh no, they did the math. The cops sat down with the government and lawyers and figured out this whole fucking legalization program before anything. They figured out how much it was fucking worth.
Yep.
That's it, that's all. That's how marijuana was legalized in this country, and that's the only thing that's happened.
Oh yeah, they certainly didn't legalize marijuana because they liked us or wanted to, you know, look good. Well, yeah, they wanted to look good, and they thought, oh yeah, we'll get elected, but
Yeah,
they didn't really want to legalize marijuana.
They just hand the golden ticket to fucking Tweed and Tilray and the like,
Yeah.
who were there already because having been forced by the courts to provide the marijuana, they created those companies or let those companies be licensed
Yeah.
to grow cannabis that nobody using it medicinally would buy. No one wanted it. Nobody. 9% of all users.
We went to
bought their
court
weed from
over
these
it.
People, right?
We actually went to court over it to retain, because they tried to tell us we couldn't keep growing our own. So we fought it in court and won.
But these companies were created as a result of that. So of course, when it comes to legalizing cannabis, they pick these pinheads. They give them permission to go recreational use, right? Which means nothing. It's just this empty word, recreational use. What the fuck? But at any rate, it's a golden ticket, right? Bang, and they're the worst growers of all time. Thanks a lot, Health Canada and cronies.
I think
Fuck you. It's not the cannabis. It's not cannabis.
I think from here on in, all of my cannabis use from here on in now is protest use.
Well,
That's what I'm calling it now. He says,
Like,
oh, is
it's
that
just
medical?
no
I go,
different.
no, this is protest weed. From now on, all my weed is protest weed. Fuck it.
yeah.
That's it. Yeah, I'm just protesting. Oh, but it's legal. No, the rules are fucked. I'm protesting.
Yeah.
That's it. This is protest weed. Can't help it.
They're
There's no other way. There's no way around it. I'm gonna get a sticker. Protest weed. Put it on my tin.
But yeah, it's never a dull moment out there in the world.
Lots of dumb moments.
Yeah. But the money will all go away in the investment, right? Eventually, somebody's going to say, hey, canopy growth, you don't have any weed. You don't have any marijuana. Oh, you don't have any edibles. Oh, you don't have any beverages. Oh.
Well, you know,
Because you didn't have any weed.
every once in a while I would see pictures of like all these big bags of weed, like in some LP storage thing that got out somehow, whatever. And I kept thinking, and all these plants in rooms, big acreages, and you know, like, wow, how can these guys not have any weed?
Well, because they
They're-
don't. They didn't try to even grow any.
Like they're just not.
Right? They
they're
never
just
needed to grow any.
growing for failure.
No, they were just.
You know,
If you're making billions of dollars on the stock market
why bother growing weed?
without growing any weed, why the fuck would you grow weed?
Of course, makes sense.
Right? Your focus is not growing weed. Their focus was on acquisition.
So they're not growing weed, and they still lost $10 million.
Well, in the growing weed part,
I
They lost
see.
$10 million.
I get it. That's the
because they
write-off.
didn't grow any weed.
We'll just plow this under, and then we'll just
That's probably
declare
their-
that the write-off.
10 million is probably their operating expenses for the whole operation because they didn't grow any weed. They didn't use it, but that's their operating expenses.
Lights,
Minimum, 10
lights,
mil.
employees, and shit,
Right.
yeah, insurance.
So, yeah, and that's why they got rid of fucking Bruce Linton,
Oh,
right? Because that's all he was there for, was to do that part of it, crank it up fucking worldwide, and I guess I don't know. I never knew he was some sort of superhero when it came to this kind of shit. They're all just opportunists now.
Yeah.
So that's all going to stop because somebody's eventually going to ask them to produce something. See, they just all got rich because they acquired potential to grow cannabis. more acreage, more possibilities. And so people would invest more money, and they would then go buy something else to increase their potential, and they would record all this together, and you go, wow, you know, you haven't grown anything.
No.
You know,
It's interesting
just
whenever they talk about LPs, they always talk about, well, the investors. You notice that? It's always
oh no, it's all about money.
it's
got
always
nothing to do with
you can't talk
cannabis.
about LP cannabis without talking. Well, the investors are having a roundtable discussion, or we'll have to get the investors in Health Canada and the government in on a just you know. It's always about the investors. It's
Oh, yeah,
so they're
it's all
not. You never hear them talk about. Well, we got to get a bunch of growers together.
No,
They don't
they've
talk about
never.
the growers. They don't talk about the gardeners. They don't even talk about their head grower. And if they do, all they do is talk about some of his degrees, not about his growing prowess or
They
hers, as
don't
the case
even
may be.
mention the growing.
Never
part.
hear about the growers ever in elk. You notice this?
Yep,
See, that's
I have.
enough. That there just this brings us kind of all together just to prove the point. These guys don't give a shit about the weed.
Well, yeah, they don't. At some point, it'll matter, I suppose, that they're going to have to. Start
There's
growing
going to be a
weed.
reckoning. Absolutely.
So, the investments will stop, and the real world will crash back in, and those people get fucking rich off the top for doing nothing but wrecking stuff, right? Err. Just because they wanted to. Because they want to be sure. It's like a movie, the whole fucking thing. There's nothing like this, really, when you step back a little bit and have a look at it. They haven't done this with everything, have they? I guess behind our backs, this is how they go, right? In the boardrooms and closed doors, because we don't get to see everything that they're doing like you do with cannabis. But that's what they do. Interesting.
Well, it was the red flags were up the whole time. You know,
Well,
they
of
brought in
course.
people like Anne McClellan,
Oh, instantly.
Fantino. I mean, you know, some of these names just rang huge alarm bells.
A load
Those
of
two
cherry.
alone were like, what? How do you pick these people to come into this? It's like,
couldn't really.
all right, here we go.
But you honestly couldn't see that coming, right? It really surprised me how they went with it. Like, you go, like, really? Like,
Well, the whole thing was just like, what the fuck
Yeah,
moment
you're going-
from
and
one
then
to the
one-
next every single time
one
they
after
brought out
the
more. Oh, we're gonna give more information. It's like they brought out the edible info, 10 milligrams. Like, what the fuck?
and what, Quebec, government of Quebec says, no, that's not low enough.
Oh, so did
We
they
want
say that?
5 milligrams
Oh, no.
per piece. And I think they might be inferring that this thing must be clear. It must not appeal to a child of any color. Like, what the fuck, Quebec is going on? Something weird there. Holy cow. Over and over and over, they just attack and go, it's public safety, public safety. And you go, have you looked at it?
Well, they're
Where did you get
it's
the
the
information?
church in Quebec. That's why it's heavily influenced by
something.
the church. And that's Quebec's like that and all things like that.
You'd think they'd be into it because they must be fucking crooked enough to be into the booze industry in Quebec.
Because they understand the
government.
booze industry, they don't understand the
you
weed.
fucking
As soon as they
selling
understand it, trust me, they'll be more into it.
So they're working on their own plan. They haven't got it worked out yet, but they got their own plan coming. Somebody else is growing their weed for them.
More people need to be dosed with edibles. That's all I have to say.
These government idiots got to be told to. Well,
10 milligrams only, though.
Can you fuck off? Well, give us 10 milligrams of fuck off.
How about a pint and a half and go fuck yourself?
Yeah, ludicrous, absolutely insane. But that's their whole program, is that they just want to make this look like a drug, right? It gives the inference that it is a drug. It's packaged like a drug by them, labeled and presented like a drug in their package, right? all of their warnings, all of their fucking nonsense. It's just like a drug when it's not. And it's not a drug.
It looks like tobacco
It's
packaging.
a plant. Right? It's a plant. Did we forget that?
Yes. It's an herb.
It doesn't hurt anybody. Did we not know that? How do they not know that? I do.
To me,
I'm just a guy.
legalization means,
Or
just,
go to a farmer's market on the weekend and
yeah,
get it from people who do.
yeah, not even dried or nothing, just fresh, just cut down bud, like just ready to harvest.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, just take a nice
Never
cola
thought of
home and just, cure it, dry it yourself, and just, yeah. Why not, eh?
Why not? If you,
Farmers market stuff.
yeah.
Right? They sell fruits and vegetables like that. Why wouldn't you?
Green
In
bananas.
legalization, why wouldn't you sell? You should, or you could harvest and dry and go through the process. Well, why wouldn't you just like,
Pick your
if you've
fruit.
got bunch of, you're rotating your crops, you're good at what you do. You've got so many dry, coming or ready to go as every week or every couple of weekends, and down to the market you go on Saturday mornings. Why
People
not?
driving by your place on the highway, you got a sign out.
Little
Fresh picked buds,
fresh buds, eggs,
eggs.
yeah, flowers.
Yeah.
Eggs, buds.
Fresh eggs. Oh,
Fresh
I saw
eggs.
signs when I was out on the highway not long ago. Fresh eggs. You go, oh, okay, really?
Free range.
No, no, no.
Chicken.
I'm not too sure any fresh.
Free range.
I never saw chicken at the stall. I was
Yeah.
fresh eggs, and I never saw chicken.
Why are you making a distinction?
I used to sell eggs on the side of the road for my birds.
Fresh eggs?
They were fresh.
They all are.
They're all fresh.
Who's out there selling stale eggs? No one.
No.
Ever.
Old eggs.
Never.
Free.
No way.
Old eggs.
Ah, yeah.
Free.
Yeah, maybe not so fresh eggs.
Yeah.
What that sign?
Well, if they weren't fresh though, you run the risk of someone throwing them at your house. So you made sure to put out good eggs.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Still,
See, mine didn't
I-
say fresh. Mine said free range.
I always found it to be a little too personal to go off side of the road and buy eggs from a person.
Well, for me, it was. You know what it was? I never had that many.
Fruit, I don't mind that.
And it was never people driving by. It was my neighbors. They knew I had chickens. So they would come over. But I just put them out. I had a little mini fridge that didn't work. So I just used it as a cupboard. And I put it out on blocks on my driveway. And I would just put 2 or 3 dozen eggs in there, so often. And neighbors would come over and just put the money in the tin and grab the eggs. Often leave me a note.
A note.
Or leave me something that I needed,
$10
like,
note.
whatever. It's like, oh, here's that, something that, leave me something. Like, I'll just leave it in the fridge, yeah, I'll catch it later.
Nice.
It's just a place to leave stuff for your neighbors.
What's in it for the chicken? Nothing. Chicken don't get nothing.
Well, the chickens, they got special treatment.
Until.
Until, of course, I decided to eat them. I would walk around, I see free-range
Some
birds.
career options for chickens.
I would walk around and every once a week or so and kick over like logs and stumps and shit, and they'd all rush in and eat all the grubs and shit like that, and in turn gave me good eggs that I enjoyed and my neighbors enjoyed and paid me money for.
Yeah, works out good with chickens. Not like cats.
Eggs are terrible.
Right? Cats you don't get too much from.
Well,
Lot of
not
work.
a big return on
Lot
cats.
of work involved, fertilizing and
Just for a couple pairs of mittens.
all right, let's get out of here for today. Good to have Mick in the house.
Yeah, good to be here. Actually, this is a bit of a change coming in on Wednesday.
Was it Wednesday?
I forgot what day it was. I miscalculated.
No idea.
Anil didn't mention, but that worked out pretty good too, eh? Quite a coincidence.
Yeah. No, it's good to be here. Thanks.
And yeah, thanks to Anil for being here and lighting us up and
And the new microphone.
new microphone. Could you hear it? Hello.
Oh, wait, it's not a speaker.
Didn't hear though.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, thanks for tuning in. I hope you have good days ahead. Having fun in the summertime, wherever the hell you are. And we'll be back next week. Tune in to all the shenanigans here at Pot TV. Some couple parties going on.
Ah.
Oh, actually,
Maybe something on Friday night, right here on the second floor. It's
I-
going to be this thing today. Oh, it's not today,
No,
but
Friday.
Friday.
right, so,
Infused
just
chef
'cause it says
dinner.
today.
I just picked up my ticket today. Looking forward to that. I'll be down here.
Where'd that go now?
Dead culture.
That is that thing. Live entertainment on Friday.
Raffles.
Raffles infused chef dinner. Is the chef infused? So Stone Guy's gonna come and cook for you? No.
I thought I
it'd
was
be
getting infused food, but it looks
Um,
like I'm getting an infused chef.
Yeah. So it's not today, Glass. An extracts party is on Friday, not today.
Friday.
There's still something today.
So
Oh, is there something today?
There's always something.
there's always something today.
What do I know?
But the chef is known to us. He catered up at 420. The food in the VIP tent, which was killer. So that'll be good. And where'd that fucking poster go? Oh, there it is. And then there's something again the next day, Saturday. There's going to be live glass blowing by local glass artists, contests and prizes for those contests, and then it's covered by a box, and you can't see the printing
It's-
anymore.
But I do know that Saturday it's
There you go.
outdoor. You got the
Lot
parking lot
party.
next door.
Next door,
Right, yeah.
empty parking lot
Taking
filled
over the
with food trucks
and live glass blowing
and live glass blowing.
in the parking lot.
Nice. So, check that out. With food trucks.
Yeah.
That's where it should be. There you go. But the
Eat-
beach is closed at 10. With no lights. We have no lights. In
So this-
Nanaimo, they had beautiful lights. They looked very antique and it looked very, very nice. But no. Fucking Parks Board. Dicks.
I'm gonna go down there at 10:30 and walk through the park just to piss them off. When
Oh,
they
don't
see them, I'll
care.
go.
They
I'm just
come-
leaving. I didn't know what time it was.
I'm not too sure. It seemed to me like they were telling everybody to get off the beach, but they missed Rose and I. We were sitting down there. They just missed us by accident. It was great. And it was an odd thing too. Sitting on some logs. ATV goes that way down the beach, fucking hunting, and then turned around and came back and was coming right around towards us. And a guy who'd been picking up cans on the beach with two big giant bags of cans stepped right in front of us. And then they just went off and saw it was him, and didn't even they just at that moment it was really funny.
Screened you
It just seems so
with his
silly.
cans.
Yeah.
That's great.
All right. Well, have good days, and we'll be back next time. I'm Marijuana Man.
I'm
Peace
Opus.
and pot.